Guys, welcome to Atlantic Beach. I am chatting with Patricia, who is a historian and knows everything about this area. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. And you?
I'm doing great. I want you to teach me what Atlantic Beach is all about. There's a very rich history here.
Yes, Atlantic Beach was founded in 1934 by a guy named George W. Tyson. He came from Wilmington, North Carolina. He had been in the war, and as a result, he decided that he was going to come here. There was a guy named R.V. Ward that sold him the first two streets, 29th Avenue and 30th Avenue, for $2,000. Okay, 1934 was a time of depression, so of course he didn't have a lot of money, but he was able to gather money from his wife's family, which was the Baldwin family, out of Conway, South Carolina, and they were able to get them the money. A few years later, there was a lady named Viola Bell that she wanted to sell the next two streets, which is 30th, 1st and 32nd.
Okay.
And so she sold it to him for $600, but it had a mortgage on it, and he had to take up the mortgage. Now, he was able to do very well for a few years with that, but he got into some financial problems, and he had to set up an organization called the Atlantic Beach Company. And the Atlantic Beach Company, he was a smart man to first see that he was in financial problems, and he needed to resolve that. So he got the doctors, the lawyers, the dentists, the professors, president of universities, the top blacks during that time, to buy land, particularly on this street right here in front of us, and just Ocean Boulevard, and this street here. Okay, and so they bought this, and I think his intentions was, you know what, these other people have money, and maybe they could keep paying off whatever they need to do to retain this, and he was true about. Another thing he was also very particular about on the ocean front was to make sure he put in the deeds there would be on most of these lots here no type of, he didn't say it was high rise, but he said it would only be residential, houses could be built. And that purpose was so that you would have the view basically of the ocean. And today, since 1934, there have only been two buildings, the Gordon Motel and also Holiday Motel, that was here. In 1954, although the Gordon Motel was one of the most fabulous motels for the black people during this time. This is a period of segregation, so we didn't have any place to come to, because they wouldn't allow us unless we were working as babysitters or cooks or maids or something in the motels in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. We had no place else to come. He decided to make this a place where blacks could come. And like I said, he made sure he wanted that ocean view to be reserved for anyone who wants to come and live on, and he put it in the deeds. And that's why today, even though they put two motels, different governments was able to allow the Gordon and that one there, 1954, Hazel knocked the Gordon Motel down, and it was later on when Hugo came along, it finally knocked the rest of this down. But before that happened, they had all kinds of things here. It was like an amusement park. Okay, and so you had all kinds of like Ferris wheels, merry-go-rounds, bumper cars, anything you could think of, like the arcades and stuff would have. They had this. People came here every weekend and celebrated, and these streets were packed. Particularly, this is Main Street, particular Main Street. It was packed with people who came. They got here any way they could. They said that people had actually trucks, flatbed trucks. They jumped on those. Some of the people came at even earlier time with horse and buggy, just to enjoy the water, to enjoy themselves for the amazement of enjoying the beach. And so many businesses started along the streets and stuff.